Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
Just about 6 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. Robin, every year, just before school begins, there will be an announcement that the schools will send us so that we can remind parents, especially parents of young children. I think in our county, young children and seventh graders all have to get vaccines in order to be in school, correct? There are some certain rules about that, right? Yep. All right. So every year you get this number of the projected number of students that will begin. And then every year you get this report of how the first day went. And every year you get this report of how many students were sent home because they didn't get their vaccinations, right? Yeah. And every year, and it's not a small number. Usually it's like hundreds that, in the county-wide that were sent home that didn't have their vaccinations for one reason or another. On the phone is Ilina, I hope I'm saying her name right, Ewen. She's the UN Foundation's Shot at Life campaign, or she's with that campaign, and she's going to talk to us about vaccinations. Good morning, Ilina. Is it Ilina?
It's Ilina.
Ilina.
Good morning.
Ilina, and it's Ewen, right?
Ewen, that's correct.
Ilina Ewen. Well, good morning, Ilina. Where are you?
I am in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. You sound young.
Do I?
Yeah.
I'm really not.
You're not? Well, are you as old as us? See, we have on our arms marks from when we got vaccinated, and the kids, my son, who's now 27, does not have that mark. We changed something about the vaccinations since we were kids. I don't know if you're as old as us.
I have two sets of those marks. I was born in Calcutta, India, and I got those marks when I was born. And then when I was a baby, we left India to move to the United States, and I got a different set of shots. So I have lots of marks on my arm. I, in fact, have written a piece about how I'm actually proud of those marks. And there was a time I was young and I was ashamed of them, and now I wear them as a source of pride.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good to know. And does each, like we have, I don't know what the rules are in the state or in the county. I don't know what the rules are anywhere. But do the rules vary from place to place as to what vaccinations are necessary?
I believe they do. Within the United States, the rules do vary, and I think the opt-out rules vary for either religious or philosophical reasons. People in the United States have the luxury of not vaccinating their children, but through Shot at Life and the families that we work with, it's simply not an option. These are women who don't have access. It isn't a matter of luxury or choice. They don't have access to vaccinate their children. And in their cases, it is literally a matter of life and death to be able to provide these immunizations to their children.
And correct me if I'm wrong, and I know people are going to get mad. Some people will get mad at this, but the luxury of being able to opt out is only because we've been so successful with eradicating the diseases that could have been prevented. In other words, the parents who opt out really have their children a little more protected because the kids around them have been vaccinated. Is that accurate?
That's correct. It's what we call herd immunity, and their children are protected because the rest of us have vaccinated our children. However, there's a big piece of our population who are not able to benefit from vaccinations, and those are very young children, so infants who have not yet been vaccinated or people who are immune suppressed. I spent 10 years volunteering with pediatric bone marrow transplant patients, and those children and their families are very vulnerable to some of these diseases that we thought were eradicated in the United States but have made a resurgence recently. Just here in North Carolina last fall, we had over 20 cases of measles, and they traced that back to someone who came on a plane from India.
Oh, really?
So literally, these diseases are a plane ride away.
Has polio been eradicated or not?
But polio has been eradicated in many parts of the world. In fact, in India, where I was born, it was just eradicated. But we are still seeing it in places that are particularly vulnerable right now, like Syria.
Really?
And since you are a parent yourself, did you have any reservations at all about getting your children vaccinated? Have them have vaccinations?
I had no reservations. It was never a question in my mind or in my husband's mind. It simply wasn't an option. And part of that is what I was able to experience working with these pediatric bone marrow transplant patients. Part of it is being born in India and hearing from my parents about healthcare issues in India. And part of it is I just wanted to protect my children from everything that I could do to protect them.
Yeah, and now talk about, we are kind of spoiled, I guess. We're privileged, you might say, here, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But you did mention earlier about children in other countries that don't have access to this. So if I don't know if you know what Samaritan's Purse is, but that's like I guess it's a religious organization, and they send out catalogs every year, and you don't buy things. What you do is you send money for things like milk or chickens or medicine. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming some of that medicine is in the form of a vaccination. I don't know, but is that the same thing the UN is doing, something similar?
It is through the Shot at Life program. When you donate money, we provide vaccines to help deliver these vaccinations to children in developing countries. And we work locally with organizations and healthcare workers on the ground in the countries that we visit. I, in fact, was able to go on one of these Shot at Life trips to Uganda, and we traveled to very rural, difficult-to-reach villages to administer these vaccines. And we worked locally with their healthcare workers and their ministers and religious leaders to organize what we called these family health days. And when you see these mothers hold their pink vaccination slips up in the air, it is like seeing a child hold a diploma up in the air. They're so proud, and many of them have walked 5 kilometers or more barefoot, lugging their children just to get these vaccines that you and I can go to a drugstore down the street to get.
Wow. And I'm guessing some of them have stories of maybe children that they had earlier that died that didn't have the vaccines, or maybe relatives that had problems?
Many of them have these stories, and in some villages, they in fact don't even give their child a name until that child turns 5, because that's the age that they reach. They generally have to reach to ensure that they're going to make it.
Part of the information, Ilina, part of the information in our prep material indicates that there's a campaign to encourage us as ordinary citizens to write Congress. What kind of things do you want us to write about?
Well, I think what's so important is for Americans to realize that we elect these officials to go off to Washington and be our voice, and so we need to make sure they hear our voices. There's a Shot at Life mobile app that you can get from our website, shotatlife.org.
Okay.
And if you put in your zip code, it will tell you who your members of Congress are, and you can very easily send an email simply saying that you support Shot at Life and global vaccine programs, and that you support this providing help for this healthcare crisis that's happening globally. And you can even set up a meeting with your member of Congress. You don't have to go to Washington to do that. They all have offices in districts that you can go visit.
Yeah.
I've visited the Hill to see my own representatives. I plan on doing that with my sons as well. It's a great thing that you can do.
That is cool. That you did it in D.C. So we have a good relationship with the representatives around here. I mean, obviously being a radio station, it makes it easy for us, but I think so does everybody here. I think we've got pretty accessible Congress people. So I want to make sure we get everything out. What is the website again?
shotatlife.org. It's shotatlife.org.
Okay, shotatlife.org. And what's advocate2vaccinate.org?
Advocate to Vaccinate is just more information about this competition that we have. It's split into geographic regions in the United States where people get points for doing various advocacy activities, such as meeting with a member of Congress, writing to a member of Congress. You can write a letter to the editor. You can publish a blog post all about supporting global vaccines.
Okay. Well, obviously, you're making the world a better place. Thank you for doing that. And one other thing, it says for $20, we can vaccinate a child against 4 of the most deadly and disabling diseases. That would be a way to advocate, obviously,
Yes.
to send a few dollars, right?
Absolutely. The donations are part of what makes advocacy in action work. My own kids donate $20 from their birthday money every year for Shot at Life.
Oh, wow.
Some second grade class raised money in an economics project, and they all donated money to vaccinate 3 children.
Wow, that's
So
great.
$20 is a great and easy, nice round number to donate to vaccinate a child for life against pneumonia, diarrhea, polio, and measles.
And on a side note, I really like the fact that you love shoes and Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, yeah, if I ever had a daughter, I would have named her Audrey.
Yeah. Ilina, great, fun interview with a good piece of information. Thank you for being on the air with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys have a nice day.
Thank you. You too. We will be right back.
Looking for something fun and exciting? April 11th through the 20th, the circus is here. Circa Italia is finally here from Italy. Now, for the first time in America, Circa Italia is making a stop in Ocala at Trinity Catholic High School. Circa Italia is offering a special deal. 1 free child's ticket, age 12 and under, are free when you purchase a regular price adult ticket starting at $20. This water circus has a limited number of shows at Trinity Catholic High School in Ocala. Circa Italia has done something brand new. A 35,000-gallon custom water stage. Want to see a 365 laser man act manipulating laser beams in front of you? Wait, there's more. That defying daredevil aerial stunts, dazzling mermaid performance, and Guinness's World Book record performers from around the world. Plus, after the show, you can meet the performers and take pictures with them for free. Be here to witness courageous stunts that will create madness under the white and blue tent for every age. Are you excited? The show is only 1 week away. Tickets are available at the box office or go to circuitalia.com to get tickets now. Up next, shows in Brandon, circustalia.com.
It's time to get those DIY projects started, and right now at the DIY Home Center outlet in Ocala, you get laminate flooring starting at just 99 cents a square foot, and that includes the pad. We've got hundreds of rolls of carpet and vinyl at discount closeout prices. Kitchen need an update? 3 lines of all-wood cabinets in stock to save you up to 50% on all-wood custom kitchens, and the largest selection of mobile home parts in Ocala. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a